Hello guys, and welcome to another Throne and Liberty video. Obviously, as we await the release of this game that's coming out here in a few weeks, they are dropping more and more news on us. So one of the things they talked about a little while before, I didn't actually cover this article, is their business model, but I found something very interesting as they put out more information to be more clear on exactly how that's going to work. There is a lot in this particular news article, but what I'm going to do is cover just one thing, and that is the auction house. I reached out, I don't actually play the Korean version of this game, but I did go and try and look and see if there was any restrictions on the auction house in the Korean version. I wasn't actually able to figure that out. Probably should do a little bit better job on diving into that. But what I do like here is what I am seeing. So they talked about the auction house. As we know, the auction house in Throne of Liberty, you can put items in the auction house without having to use real money to do so. But to purchase items, you do have to use the premium currency. There, of course, the main way you get the premium currency is by swiping your card, paying for it. The rumor pricing, and I cannot stress this enough, completely rumor, is I believe you're looking at about $10 per 1,000 Lucent. Could be wrong about that. This is just, again, kind of the preliminary pricing. I haven't seen any actual pricing. This is just stuff that I've kind of gleaned from the community. Do not take that as gospel. But if so, that actually doesn't seem too bad. Of course, who knows what the prices of things are going to look like in the auction house at launch. So that being said, when we're looking at pay to win in Throne and Liberty, most of that revolves around the auction house. Yes, there's a battle pass and a level pass, and those can, of course, help you progress a little bit faster. But even in my own opinion, I look at those and I don't really see them as pay to win. One, neither one of those things are that expensive, and in a free-to-play game, you could drop a couple of bucks and get them, and I mean like 10 or 20 bucks probably, and pick those up. Secondly, they don't actually provide a huge bonus. Again, they'll help you live a little faster, help you get geared up slightly faster, as in like level up your gears and skills, but it's not like game changing. For example, someone that probably plays a whole lot of hours a day, like 6 hours a day, and doesn't buy those passes is probably going to be ahead of someone that plays 2 or 3 hours a day and does buy those passes. So that's just kind of my personal opinion on it. But anyway, let's get into what I actually want to talk about. And they kind of made some things clear on the auction house. And the thing that I really like about that is this. As we are designing the auction house, we wanted to place limits on the types of items directly purchasable. Only base gear can be listed on the auction house. Any gear that has been advanced or upgraded in any way, if traits are unlocked or upgraded, it is not eligible to be listed for sale. Gear obtained from instance content, such as co-op dungeons and guild raids, are also not eligible to be listed on the auction house. So what we're seeing here is basically you can't just go into the game, hit level 50 or whatever you want, swipe and buy fully upgraded, fully traded out everything gear. It's not it's not even a possibility in this game. Now, does that mean that the game is all of a sudden magically not pay to win? I wouldn't necessarily say that, but what I will say is it looks like the people that want to spend some money to skip some of the grinding can, but they're still going to have to grind to level up that gear, to trait that gear, to upgrade that gear. And then also, they are limited on what gear can actually be put in there. So co-op dungeons and guild raids, you can't place that stuff in the auction house as well. So, of course, there's great gear that drops out from world bosses and other things like that. There's obviously will be some really good gear that you're going to see in the auction house. But what it kind of does is limit someone's ability to go in and literally buy the best upgraded gear right off the bat. There's still going to be some work. They can't just go in, swipe, and all of a sudden smash you. There's still going to have to be some work that goes into that. So when looking at this, I think it's a good direction. I think that it kind of limits that pay to win in a good way. Obviously, it's a free-to-play game. Pay to win is a term that's thrown around a lot, and I think they've done a decent job balancing it. Obviously, zero pay to win, no premium currency auction house would be the way to go. They do sell a lot of cosmetics, so they also have some more things about cosmetics, Lucent. I'm not going to get into everything in the article. I will, of course, link it below. They're also talking about early access packs and what things are account-wide, what things aren't account-wide. Like, you know, Twitch drops are account-wide, cosmetics and early access packs are account-wide, although the patterns are character-specific. The customization options, of course, are not account wide. Just some different things like that. So they're basically showing here, hey, like these are, for example, some of the early access packs, armor and stuff that you can get, and they're just saying, hey, you can dye these and make these, look different in certain ways. I thought that was kind of cool. Like I said, I'll have the link to this kind of below, but I did want to address that. I think that that is a good clarification on the pay to win in the auction house, and I think it's a step in the right direction. Let me know what you think. So, one last little bit of news before I jump off of here is they announced the Throne Liberty servers, and they announced exactly what days they're opening, what times they're opening, what regions, what things are available. As you can see here, I am going to be trying to play on NA East. NA East looks like it's going to be about 3 times more populated than NA West if we go off of the amount of recruitment posts on the Throne and Liberty Discord. And when you do that, there's about 300 plus posts for NA East and just a little over 100 for NA West. So it looks like we're going to have a lot more people on NA East. Now, of course, you'll notice that these times look different, and that's because they're doing, Pacific Daylight Time and Eastern Standard Time. And what you're going to look at here is actually these are the exact same time. So it's not like I'm going to play on East, I'm going to be able to play before people on the West. Of course, they have a C server and an EU server. They have a P server as well. So it's just one of those things where, depending on obviously your ping and other things like that, it may determine what server you want to be in. Of course, one thing to keep in mind, the game does have a lot of PvP rewards. So we're talking like world bosses, the castle raids, all this other stuff. PvP is still a very big part of this game and very important. Again, you don't have to be a part of it if you don't want to, but you are going to be kind of missing out if your guild doesn't participate in any way, shape, or form. So with NA East being so full, and of course monster guilds getting ready to jump in on some of these servers, one thing to keep in mind is they're also going to let you server transfer. So as servers become full or close to pop cap, what they're going to do is also release more servers, and they're going to let you transfer for free, I believe, twice a day for a period of time between servers. One thing to keep in mind is early access servers and launch servers will have a couple of differences when it comes to transferring. For example, if you start on an early access server, so that's servers that are available during early access, you cannot transfer to a launch server, so these are servers they will open up at launch on the 1st of October for a period of time. Now, if you do start a character on October 1st on a launch server, you can transfer to an early access server. And there are no restrictions on being able to create new characters on servers unless it's already full and reached population cap. So for example, let's say you create a character on an early access server, you would not be able to transfer that character to a full launch server for a period of time. But if you create a character on a full-on server, you can, of course, transfer it to an early access server, or you can create a character on any server that you want, as long as the server is available. So, a couple things to keep in mind there. One thing, of course, to keep in mind is when you're trying to get away from servers that maybe just have some of these monster guilds in them and you're not a part of those monster guilds, that's going to be actually really, really nice to be able to do that and move away, because you can have a server completely overrun with some very competitive guilds, and then you're not going to be able to participate in any of the PvP events, open dungeons, all this other stuff, just because they're completely running the server with everything. And, if you're not in a guild that's going to be able to compete with them, or in a guild that's going to be allianced with them, you're pretty much going to be SOL on that type of content. So it is nice that they're going to be letting you move around to try and find the best population balance for those servers at launch. Well, that's all I really have for today, guys. I hope it was helpful, and of course, I look forward to playing with you all, and let me know what you all think in the comments.